hope that this works. I don't know that it does. So this right here is a cafe fairing from a Harley Vrod that obviously looks like it was in a wreck. And I already have one of these on my Victory. The problem is how it's attached. So the reason I bought this one is because of this bracket. And hopefully I can make this work. So here is the one that is currently on there. I'm going to use the same shell and the same light. I'm just going to hopefully use the new bracket. So the old one, you can see there is a strap there that I had to kind of rig up to hide, and then you got the big chrome casing of the headlight. It'd be nice to get rid of too. So originally this strap was wrapped around the fork here and it looked real shitty. One day I decided to take it apart to mess with it, to try to get it to look more clean than it does from the front. But then, you know, you look at the side and you got the chrome bell back there and you still have the strap. So I want to see what I can do with this bracket here and try to fix something up. Okay, the original setup is off. And as you can see, that one is on the left. That is how that was rigged up, or I re-rigged it to try to make it a little better. So what I need to do now is take the factory headlight off of the bike there and see if I can fit that inside this new bracket, and then mount this bracket with the headlight into here, get rid of those straps there. The factory headlight bracket is a 15mm nut and bolt, both sides. You're gonna need a flex knuckle ratchet and extension to get in there. I got this bitch cranked hard. Try the other side. There we go. the nut or the bolt out. There's no washers in there, just a bracket over top of the mount. I got the headlight out that I will be using in the new bezel there, or with the new bracket. Here is the old headlight bucket, and there is a big old cluster of wires in there. So I need to detangle all that stuff. What a freaking debauchery. Look at all these wires. Like, why? Why does all this need to be in the headlight? I don't get it. We're gonna clean this up. And we're only gonna have the one, I don't know which one it is. I think it's that one right there. This will be the plug-in for the headlight there. As you can see down here, that is all I need inside here. So I'm gonna clean that up meanwhile and figure this mess out. Okay, so here is one thing that will really help. Obviously, the two headlights are different sizes. So I need to get a smaller LED like that, like this, like that. So I have to do that first of all. Besides this clustering of wire here, I think I can make this bracket work. I go over top of there. I will just need to get a U-bolt that will go through there and then up through the top. I just have to measure center to center of these holes here, and that should work. So to swap over everything and make sure they're all good and sealed, there is a rubber gasket around the original Vrod cafe fairing that I am going to take and put in here once I get these off there and dispose of those. Okay, we're back at it. I got some parts here. So these here I got for spacers to possibly use in here for the U-bolt, because there's a little slack in there, so I may or may not use those in case I need to get that tighter. Here's the U-bolts. They have the brackets with them as well. And here is the 5 3/4 inch headlight. Same style as the other one. I'm going to do a test run here before I start fixing any wires or hooking the bracket up. So I'm going to plug this in, check the operation of the light, and then go from there. Got that there. Rest that there without scratching my fender. Okay. Low beam. High beam. Got this cleaned up, the wires, and by cleaned up, I mean a lot of electrical tape and little zip ties. That'll be covered by the behind the fairing there, so you won't see all that. I got as much slack as I could out of our direct wires that'll be going into the new headlight cam. So I got room to work there. And this, I had to put, luckily I found some rubber to put in there to take up the slack of this U-bolt there. I'll see how that lasts. I may in the future try to look for more of a permanent solution, but as you can see, that steadied that up there a bit. A little modification here. I got the U-bolts tightened down, the rubber washers aren't staying in, so what I am doing, I'm drilling through the cast aluminum Vrod headlight bracket down to the aluminum factory bracket off the Victory. Okay, I'm using a 3/16 bit here. Have that centered. Where in the world did I put that screw at? There it is. Stainless self-tapper. I always keep a few of these lying around. Line up the holes there. Okay, that's nice and tight there. One step closer, figuring it out. So I got two of the wires capped that were in there. Not sure what they were, but they had connectors on them and they were not in use. And then the other ones I wired to the factory end of the 3-prong plug for the headlight that works in there. So I set that in, I snapped the chrome trim on. I have that lined up and centered. There's not a whole lot of room here with the factory wire to tilt this forward to get this on and off, but I'll figure it out. So this forward a little. One side of the trim off. Try not to scratch the new light. Just the plug isn't fully seated. Boy. Okay, it's lined up nice and tight. Check it again. Ah, my eye. Okay. All right, now we're going to take the inside cover off of the fairing. Normally this has a screw down there to kind of hold that clamp in place, but it snaps on pretty tight and there was not one in there. So for the time being, I'm not going to worry about it. I need to find my Allen wrenches. Okay, here we go. Oh, shit. Four millimeter. Okay, that's off. You remember there's a rubber seal that I transferred from the other fairing. I'm gonna snap it back on there. It's got a slot in it, so it'll snap right in there. Seated good. Pull this down as far as I can so I can get behind there and try to get these Allen screws on. And the gasket's coming off. Yep, that looks like a bit. There, blinded me. Not gonna stay. After a grueling process, I got all 4 of the screws in the headlight. Now it has a proper mount. Only thing I'm not too happy with is how all this space looks back here. I may fabricate something on the side to kind of fill that in or hide it. We'll see. Overall, it looks pretty good. That's it for now. I'm gonna tighten up the bolt down there, and that will be good to ride. Definitely gonna modify it later and cover up this openness and ugliness on the side there, but